Castle of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse, is a side-scrolling platformer released for the Mega Drive in 1990, with Master System and Game Gear versions arriving later. The Mega Drive was a great platform for Mickey, with the system playing host to 6 games starring the eponymous mouse. In this video, I want to focus on the Mickey game I remember best from the Mega Drive. Mickey Mouse was everywhere in the 90s, with cartoons, films and merchandise on an endless rotation. For me, 3 things spring to mind when I think of Disney during that time. The Disney stores opening in the UK, Disneyland Paris opening in 1992, somewhere I've enjoyed visiting several times, and the wealth of great platforming games starring Mickey released on the 16-bit consoles. So, let's don a pair of those iconic ears and white gloves and check out Castle of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse. At the start of the game, Mickey and Minnie are living happily in Vera City. That is, until the evil witch Mizrabel, jealous of Minnie's popularity, kidnaps her and imprisons her deep in the Castle of Illusion. As Mickey, it's your job to explore the castle and find the 7 gems of the rainbow, which are guarded by bosses, or Masters of Illusion, in order to challenge the witch and save Minnie. One of the first things that struck me when revisiting this game is its focus on storytelling. This shouldn't come as any surprise, given that this is a Disney property, but from the start, the narrative is front and centre, separating it from a lot of its contemporaries in the platforming genre. Castle of Illusion begins with a beautifully animated cutscene that sets up the adventure perfectly. The way the black borders extend to reveal the castle is such a fantastic dramatic touch. The storytelling continues beyond the title screen, where we get another cutscene that sets up the player's goal and shows a quick demonstration of how to dispatch enemies. The levels are even connected by short sequences showing Mickey move through the castle and enter new rooms. We don't get the freedom to explore the castle as a hub world like we do in something like Mario 3, but it all enhances the narrative and makes you feel like you've taken control of a Mickey Mouse cartoon. Mickey has 2 attacks at his disposal: a bounce attack and the ability to throw small items at enemies. The throw can be useful when lots of enemies are around, but I have to draw attention to the jump attack. Now, Sonic, Mario, and most other platformer characters defeat enemies by jumping on them, which is accomplished by a single press of the jump button. However, in Castle of Illusion, the player has to jump above an enemy and then press the jump button for a second time to make Mickey bounce off them. This caught me off guard when I first booted the game up and feels like an unnecessary extra step, and very alien when playing soon after one of those other platformers. The bounce attack does have an advantage in that Mickey can use it to catapult himself into the air to collect out of reach items. The level design is excellent. You'll go from swinging on vines in a thick forest to swimming through underground caves, and from bouncing on ghosts in a spooky wood to switching lights on and off in a colossal study. The variety really is fantastic, so I want to highlight a few of my favourite moments. The second stage of the Enchanted Forest sees Mickey jumping between moving leaves and avoiding spiders, whilst the background is adorned with beautiful spiderwebs glistening with drops of dew. This is accompanied by a mysterious melody, and it all comes together to create the kind of magic you see in old Disney movies. This Toyland level has a great mechanic whereby hitting a switch flips the world upside down, sending enemies falling to their doom. The switches can be pushed at the player's choosing, so it's possible to clear whole screens worth of enemies at once. This gameplay mechanic is only found in one part of the game, and I love how Castle of Illusion throws lots of ideas at the player so that you never know what will happen next. The study has a few bonus areas to discover, including this one that sees Mickey jump into a teacup for a swim, avoiding sugar cubes and collecting gems. You can really feel that the developers wanted each stage to surprise the player in some way. In the storm level, we get this amazing sky full of angry clouds as the storm approaches. Later in the level, we deal with the aftermath of the storm, as rising water creates a hazard we need to avoid by dashing between platforms. It's this attention to storytelling, to cause and effect, that truly makes Castle of Illusion stand out. Each level ends with a boss fight. The bosses, or Masters of Illusion, are one of the standout parts of the game. They all have unique attack patterns and varied ways to defeat them. Take the clown on the Toyland stage for instance. He has a jumping attack to avoid and a ranged boxing glove strike that the player must duck under. To damage the boss, Mickey has to jump on the springs that the clown scatters at the end of his attack cycle in order to land on his head. During my playthrough, I found a few of the bosses quite challenging and spent a few lives trying to beat them. So, what's not so good about the game? As I mentioned earlier, the jump controls take some getting used to. That extra button press just doesn't feel necessary. The other thing, which isn't really a dislike but worth noting, is the game has a few difficulty spikes. Obviously, this will be different for everyone, but for me the game started to challenge me from the study level. This stage has annoying flying enemies and some tedious platforming sections that, combined, caused me quite a headache. Then there's the final level, with its falling blocks and acid pits, which is a real life drainer. Seriously, this stage took me so many attempts to get through. Overall, Castle of Illusion still holds up. Its blend of classic 2D platforming, creative stage design, and effective storytelling combine into one of the 16-bit platforming greats. That it also has the Disney charm and whimsy is the icing on the cake. The title went on to have a remake in 2013 for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, which expanded the levels and boss fights and introduced voice acting and an explorable castle. I need to give that a go myself. I would highly recommend Castle of Illusion to fans of retro platformers, Disney and Mickey Mouse. Just don't expect to beat it on your first try. Let me know your memories of Disney in the 90s and Castle of Illusion in the comments below. Thanks for watching.